and he's being followed by the press. This was the scene. He said he was going to a very special place when he finished his Rose Garden comments. So we're kind of catching up with him now as we follow these cameras, and the president, I'm imagining, is walking towards St. John's Church, which is, of course, the Church of the Presidents. It was, part of it was set on fire. The nursery section of that church complex was set on fire. And this is remarkable, Carl, what we're witnessing here, because he's walking right through the area that was so intense last night, where fires were burning, and the president is, I think, making a very strong statement by going through here. We're going to see where he ends up, but that's what I'm assuming as we watch this right now. What do you think, Carl?
I think that's absolutely right, and this is an extraordinary moment we're seeing here. The president is making it clear to the American people that we will not tolerate this. To me, the attack on St. John's Church hit a chord. This is a place of great faith, great solemnity. This is a place that has played a special role in the lives of virtually every president of the United States, and for someone to think that they were doing anything other than engaging in an act of mindless violence by attempting to burn this church, I was just shocked, and I applaud the president for making it clear he's not going to be, and therefore our nation is not going to be cowed by the evil that it would attempt to do this. I mean, strong move by the president, and a great place to go.
We're just watching him walk right now. We don't know his destination. We're just sort of guessing at it at the moment, but we think it's a pretty good estimation. And, you know, I felt the same way, Carl, when I watched that last night. It really hit me because that church has such significance. Every president has prayed there since Madison. One of the most moving places in that church to me is the back pew where Abraham Lincoln would walk from the White House, slip in to hear the service, and usually slip out right as it ended and just walk, just as President Trump is right now, across Lafayette Park back to the White House. And, you know, it almost feels, you know, when you watch the president walking through this area, just sort of, you know, retaking this territory where we saw such extraordinary and shocking lawlessness with no police, you know, there were police there, but, you know, no ability in that moment, at least, to stop it. They did stop it later.
Yeah, well, and we've seen this unfortunately played out across the country. I'm in Austin, Texas, which is a pretty progressive town, sort of liberal in mind, but many of my friends who are from the left are shocked by the mindless violence that was conducted against our state capitol. People spray painted it. Historic lights around the Capitol were torn down. It was just mindless. And for what purpose? How did that honor the needless death of this man? How did this honor what our country should be striving for, justice? Why would people engage in this mindless violence except to tear down and destroy, to pit us against each other, to make America angry with itself? I admire the people in Minneapolis. I was talking to a friend of mine this weekend up there who told me about the people who came out to help, you know, clean up the damage, who showed up with brooms and mops and energy and commitment to make their community, to try and heal their community. And God bless them for doing that. That's what we need in this moment. We need the American people to say, look, we cannot allow this moment to be lost, to be tainted by the mindless violence of some who would seek to exploit it for their own narrow purposes. We as a nation ought to be focused on the necessity of providing justice to the family of George Floyd, and asking ourselves, how can we keep that from happening again? Instead, we're forced to watch this.
Yeah.
Violence against our great institutions.
You know, this is a stunning image right now. We are watching as President Trump walks by areas that have been denigrated with graffiti that lie right between the White House and St. John's. I mean,
yeah.
And here we are as he walks towards St. John. I also want to point out he's with the Secretary of Defense, Esper. He's with the Attorney General, William Barr. Jared Kushner is also in this group, as I just saw a moment ago. And they are now walking over to the boarded up doors of St. John's Church, the Church of the Presidents, as the president gets a look at what has happened. And, you know, this is just, it's a landmark. This is the yellow building that everybody sees in the middle of the screen right now, boarded up on that first floor. Those are some of the offices and the nursery that go along with this very historic church. And I apologize, I know the camera work is tricky here because they're literally chasing the president as he makes this really, I think, significant moment, journey across this park to witness some of this damage that has been done. So we're gonna wait till and the president now standing in front of this building of St. John's, Carl.
Martha, look at that.
And I
That
think
is
he's gonna
that great
speak for them.
historic.
Jesus.
We have a great country. That's my thoughts. Greatest country in the world.